Welcome back to our IdahoSports.com 2024 season preview for the high school volleyball season. We are getting ready to break down the 2A classification. This used to be called 1A D1. It's now called 2A. Brandon Baney joined by Lynnsie Togiai Ah-Fook, our resident volleyball expert. Lynnsie, thank you so much for doing this.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love volleyball, so but also I still really care about our Idaho's high school sports. So it's important to me.
You are a great advocate for the game and all of these incredible young ladies that are just crushing it on the court week in, week out. So we really appreciate it. Okay, so let's talk 2A volleyball. This has been the Troy Trojans for the last several years. They always just seem to reload. Coach Deb Blazard is one of the best in Idaho, regardless of classification. They won the state title again last year. They did lose quite a bit to graduation. Jolie Eklund, in particular, always stands out in my mind. But they do return one all-league player. It's their junior libero, Laura House. But I'm not too worried about it. Troy is just one of those programs that always seems to build up from the younger ranks.
Yes, I agree. They're ones that play together year round and multi-sports too. So the girls build that team chemistry, from 12 years old on. And it just helps so much on the court and off. But yeah, I would agree to say that they'll still be up there. It's not much to worry about just saying they have, one returning all conference player, but who's stepping in, they're most likely ready.
Yeah, because the only other team in this league, the White Pine League, District 2, that returns more than one all-conference player is Prairie, and they were kind of middle of the pack last year. They bring back Lexi Schumacher and Sierra Oliver, but otherwise, everybody else brings back just like one. Like Cami brings back Emma Krogh. Lapway brings back Leilani Ellenwood. Potlatch brings back Emma Patton. So when we're diagnosing which teams are going to be the best, I think you have to trust history a little bit. And so Troy, I think Potlatch has been pretty good historically over the past couple of years.
I think they're right there with, after after Troy. But yeah, Troy's been dominating at that division for the past, like 5 to 7 years too.
Yep. And then kind of an interesting swap between the 2A White Pine League and the 1A White Pine League. You might be thinking, well, how come we're not talking about Genesee? They got to state last year. They're always good. Well, Genesee
why.
Yeah. Lynnsie knows why. Maybe our audience doesn't know. Genesee has moved down. They are in the 1A White Pine League. It was basically like a trade. They traded Genesee for Kendrick. So Kendrick has moved up from 1A to 2A. Kendrick did get to state last year at the 1A classification. They do bring back Haley Anderson, junior opposite hitter. I think Kendrick could step into this league right away and compete.
I agree. They have a lot of athletic girls. Their court sense was building, but yeah, they have a lot of athletic girls who I think are figuring it out together. And I like Kendrick.
Now, just a little spoiler, because we're going to get to our 1A preview shortly, but Lynnsie helps out as a coach at Rockland, which is a 1A program, a very good 1A program. I'm sure you were glad to see Kendrick, a fellow team that was at state all the time, leave, but you're like, oh man, now Genesee's dropping down?
And it's like, well, and a team we know not much about, right? I mean, I've seen them play a couple times, but it's not a great thing, I guess, because you always have to just, focus on your side of the court anyways. But it'll be interesting because I know, they've made it to state for the past 5 years. And so, Kendrick going up and Genesee coming down again is just, like you said, a trade-off. It's not like, like we're not celebrating anything.
Yeah, you lost a good team, you gained a good team, is basically how that went. Okay, so Troy won the state title last year. They beat Grace in the championship. So let's go over to the High Desert Conference, District 5 and 6. It's only the two teams this year, Grace and Butte County. Chalice petitioned down to the 1A level. I'm sure you know all about that. We'll talk about that. They petitioned down to your conference. So it's Grace and Butte County. And so much talent returning for both of these teams. For Butte County, the all-conference players that are back: Autumn Gamet, Cambry Lyon, Coley Simpson, Paige Williams, Addison Pancari, Lily Beard. That's 6 all-conference players that are back for Butte County. For Grace, they bring back Callie Stoddard, Josie Newby, Tessica Jorgensen, 3 all-conference players. This was the wildest district tournament that happened last year, where Grace lost to Butte County the first time through the bracket. So they had to battle back and beat Butte County not once, but twice to win the district championship, because there's only one bid available to state. And Grace, in one night, beat Chalice in 3 sets in a loser out match, beat Butte County the first time in 5 sets to force the winner-take-all second game, and then beat Butte County a second time in 5 sets.
Yes.
The last match didn't get over till like close to midnight. I
Yes.
still don't know how Grace did that, but it was the most impressive thing I've ever seen from a volleyball team.
Um, yeah, that district alone is tough because Grace and Butte are actually both top teams in that whole division. So it's tough for both of them. Um, but yeah, I've seen both of these teams play for a while now. Um, Butte is going to be good for the next 3 years at least, because they are returning young players who play at a high level. And then Grace also has some newcomers stepping in to fill some of those seniors that left their roles. So it'll be interesting to see when they're all playing, because I saw them play in the summer. So Butte looks really good, but Grace has some potential too, and they always battle. So
And spoiler alert, only one team is going to get to go to state again from this district. And to be honest, it's not even one; it's a half bid. So
oh
whoever wins,
my, a half.
yes, whoever wins the district has to then win a play-in game to get to state, which is just crazy.
It's
That's
crazy, and it's crazy because of those two specific teams. Actually, that's really tough.
those are 2 teams that are worthy of being at state, and only
Yeah, they both
one.
are. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to go. So Grace took second at state last year. Murtaugh took third. So let's go over to District 4, the Snake River Conference. Here's the thing with Murtaugh, though. No returning all-conference players. They were very senior-heavy last year. And so for Murtaugh, it was like an all-time group of girls that came through. They were great in basketball, track, volleyball. At
Yeah.
these small schools, that's tough to replace a really good senior class like that.
Yes, I agree. I do think this one's more of a rebuilding for them. They aren't able to reload as fast as some other programs, just because that was a special class for them. Didn't they? They got third 2 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
With that class, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ashley Stanger was a really good leader and player for them. So that's a tough loss. But I see that they have, they still have a lot of girls coming out to play. So there's still that potential. I mean, as far as, numbers go and wanting to play, I saw that they have a lot of girls on their roster. So
Yes. And I think they could get back to state because this conference in general lost a lot. Like Oakley was the other team that got to state. They went 2 and out. They bring back one all conference player, the Libero, Taylon Beck. Valley, I think, has the best overall player in the conference, senior setter Lexi Hudig, and she's a great basketball player too.
yeah.
Lighthouse Christian, numbers are always going to be a problem for them, but the athletes they do get out always seem to be pretty good. I mean, Glenn's Ferry, Shoshone, Hagerman moved up from 1A to 2A. They all return one all-conference player. So to me, this conference is really wide open. I think early on I'd go Murtaugh, Oakley, Valley maybe are the 3 teams I'm looking at.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it is wide open. We'll just have to see how it goes. Even next week, we'll see how their first games go. It'll be interesting because Like you said, a new conference, new teams, new team dynamic. So be interesting.
Yeah. North Idaho, District 1, Scenic Idaho Conference. Wallace got to state last year and took home a fourth place finish. They bring back one all conference player in junior Megan Hull. Genesis Prep brings back one all conference player. Lakeside brings back one all conference player in Tyler Lambert, the junior. There is one bid available to state this year from this district. And normally I would say, put me down for Wallace again, but Lynnsie, Clark Fork has moved up from 1A to 2A, and the Wampus Cats are a pretty good volleyball program.
Yeah. We played them for the play-in game last year.
Yeah. When you were at
They-
Rockland, yes.
Yes. Yeah, I think they're in a good position there. I think they, they were I think they didn't like that they won their district and they're only a half seed too, and so they had to play us.
Yes.
So I think that's tough, but yeah, I think they're in a good position here.
Well, and it was just like the match was like so far away for them. Like, hey, congratulations, you won your district. Now you get to go to, where'd you guys play? Fruitland?
Yes.
Like that's on the border of like Oregon. You can't get any further like west than that.
Yes.
It's just really far away to go. So
it was tough. So yeah, I think they're well, and obviously they have the numbers to do it. So I think they're in a good place.
Yeah. Clark Fork does bring back two all-conference players, Aurora Lane and Amy Madison, who's got some height there in the middle. So Wallace, Clark Fork, the two teams are keeping an eye on there. And then the Western Idaho Conference, this is District 3. Liberty Charter got the state last year, went 2-0. They bring back Avea Flores and Addie McCain, both sophomores, both all-conference players as freshmen. Victory Charter lost the state play-in game. They don't return anybody. Wilder brings back some talent. Rimrock brings back a good player. Idaho City. The big story here is Greenleaf Friends has kind of controlled this conference the last couple of years, but they moved down from 2A to 1A. So to me, it's kind of like Liberty Charter, and then like I'm not really sure who gets that other spot to state.
So it's Liberty Charter and Victory Charter in the same.
Yes.
Okay. Which one of those is really good at track?
That's Victory Charter.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I know. Yeah, one has really good athletes in track. That was just
yes
a random thought, but
no, you're good.
It's a little different.
Right.
It gotta have different skill, but I think this one's more wide open for me. I'll be interested to see, how their season starts, but more importantly, how they finish. But right now, I couldn't say.
If I had to pick a team, I guess I'd lean Rimrock. They seem to have good girls athletes. They always get to state in basketball. So why not volleyball? So
that's a good guess. Yeah.
That's right. That's where I would lean. So, okay. That's our 2A state volleyball preview. We like from the north, Wallace and Clark Fork from District 1, Troy, Kendrick, Prairie potentially from District 2, Potlatch will be in the mix too. Yep. From District 3, we're looking at Liberty Charter and like maybe Rimrock. We'll see. From District 4, we're looking at Murtaugh, Oakley, Valley potentially. And then over in East Idaho, Grace and Butte County both should be at state. Only one's going to get to go. So,
gosh, so sad.
It is. It's kind of a bummer, but all right. What isn't a bummer is breaking down all of this great volleyball action with you. Thank you for tuning in to our 2A state volleyball preview on IdahoSports.com.